Have you ever looked up in the night sky and wondered, what is up there? Why would we go up there? And how could we get up there? Now picture yourself in space. What would you think about the world below you? What would you think about the space that surrounds you? Would you be deep in thought about Earth? Or would you be deep in thought about the possibilities that surround you? Our solar system seems to be infinite to us, but it is far from it compared to the universe in which we live in. The solar system is fickle and small. Even though our solar system is small, to get to its farthest reaches and beyond has taken ages for humanity, and not for humans, but for robots. Rockets are the key to our space exploration. Without them, we wouldn't have known as much as we do now about space. They are our key transportation into the world of space. We rely upon rockets in ways not known before. If you ever wonder about how many satellites we have in space, all of them are brought there by rockets. And without rockets, there would be no way to ever reach space. rockets, there are always dangers.
According to NASA, space has 5 major impacts on the human body. Number 1. Gravity fields. Spending too much time in zero gravity can lower bone density, and it can cause a condition called osteoporosis. A normal elderly person loses 1% of bone density every year, while in space you lose 1% every month. To prevent this, you can exercise. Number 2. Isolation. In space, you usually only eat freeze-dried food, work with the same people for several months, and lived in cramped conditions. As a result, you can go crazy, and it will also be hard for you to get sleep. And to counter this, no, you do not take pills. Instead, you'll be using special devices like actigraphy to help assess and improve your sleep. 3. Hostile/closed environments. Since you live in such a cramped space, illnesses and diseases can easily spread. To counter this, NASA has advanced filtration techniques of the air as well as constant monitoring of the air quality. 4. Radiation. Without the protection of the atmosphere, you are exposed to a lot of radiation and can likely get cancer. And as a result, you are exposed to 10 times more radiation than on Earth. To counter this, NASA is creating better radiation shields and developing it and testing it on Earth. 5. Distance from Earth. Let's say you're on a mission to go to Mars. You can experience a downtime of communication for up to 20 minutes, and as well as the possibility of losing all communication. To counter this, NASA will literally pack everything that you need.
Of course, there are alternatives to space travel with astronauts. Why should we risk astronauts' lives if there are so many dangers in space? There are alternatives. The most likely alternative is sending robots into space instead of people.
You live in space permanently. If you counter the 5 hazards mentioned before, then you could probably most definitely live in space. But the only problem would be is that it would require a lot of money and also a lot of time.
Sending astronauts to space is essential to humanity. Sometimes humans will not believe what robots see. They only believe humans themselves and their own eyes. Thus, we need humans to go into space to view the moons, the planets, and anything else we can discover. But there are still problems with space travel. After all, on Earth, we don't have unlimited fuel. Fuel is what creates thrust on a rocket. And not only is fuel a problem, but so is cost. After all, The funding and creating of these projects cost a lot. Space travel also takes a lot of time. Not many people would like to use all their lifetime just traveling to get to a planet in just our solar system. So we have to come up with new ideas, new forms of transportations to bring us farther in a less amount of time. Now, ponder again about the world above you. Think about what you have learned, and imagine again space.